Yeah, hi, good evening to all.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, so shall we start the session? Wait for 2 more minutes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, good evening, sir. You ready, sir?
Yeah, good evening, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, shall I continue or shall I wait for 2 more minutes?
No, sir. You can start the session.
Yeah, fine, thank you. Yeah, hi, good evening to all. Good evening, sir. So, shall we start the session? Wait for 2 more minutes. Yes, hi everyone, and I hope screen is visible and my voice is audible to you all.
Yes, sir, it is audible.
Yeah. So, as part of the sorting technique, in the last session, we have discussed about there are various types of sorting techniques like bubble sort, insertion sort, selection sort, quick sort, merge sort, bucket sort, radix sort. Various kinds of sorting techniques, algorithms are available. Okay, and the total topics we have categorized into two things with compare to what are the algorithms which we are discussing, which are depends on the comparison of the two numbers and uncompared. Okay, so these out of this we are discussing the first one is comparison based, other one is non-comparison based, right? So what are the algorithms comes under the comparison based? Bubble sort, insertion sort, selection sort, merge and quick. These are all they, even though they kept here only three, you can also include like insertion, selection, all comes under the comparison based, whereas bucket and radix sort are non-comparison based. Out of that, we have used bubble sort. We are discussing about bubble sort algorithm. So yesterday we have discussed the how the algorithm is working, and today actually I need to start with the program, right? So yeah, I will start with the programming, but before that you should have at least a glance of how this algorithm will work. Otherwise, you will feel difficult to understand the program, right? While I'm developing the program, you should understand the logic. Keep in your mind your logic. After that, you can follow writing the code, right? So I'll just quickly I'll move the slides so that you can understand. So here I just consider every consecutive of two numbers. Okay, I'm checking if it is second number. If the second number is, you can consider both. If the first one is greater than the second number, I'm swapping. So, and also you can consider the second number is less than the first number, right? Yeah. And today I'm going to compare with my programming logic also, my dear students. You try to understand. Okay, now I'm explaining with comparing with the programming. Assume that how can I identify two numbers? How can I identify two numbers? So one is variable I, like one for loop. Okay, the another variable is pointed by the another variable j. So every time I need to compare two numbers, right? Every time I need to compare two numbers. First time, this is the I value, this is the j value. Next time, this is I value, this is the j value. These two I'll compare. Next time, this is I value, this is the j value. That means what? I value is varying from 0 to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this until n minus 2, right? Up to here. This is n minus 1, right? This is n minus 2. Whereas j value is varying from whatever I you have, j is the I plus 1. Are you getting my point? Say for example, I equal to 0, then what is j? J is I plus 1. Okay. So immediately I can say a of I and a of j. Now you tell me, what is a of I and a of j? Is it a of j? Is a of j is less than a of I? Yes. Then I can swap. Or you can do a of I is greater than a of j, you swap. Anything. Okay, the logic is, it depends on you. Okay, now in this case, what I'm trying to say, A of, see, yesterday's discussion and today's discussion is completely different, my dears. Now I'm comparing with the coding. Okay, yeah. Now this is A of I, this is A of J. What is J? J value is J equal to I plus 1. That means I equal to 0. What is the array of A of I? Is 12. What is A of J? 4. That means J equal to I plus 1, I said. So that is next number. Now, how can you identify the value of this A of I and A of J? If A of J is less than the A of I can swap. You know swapping, right? Simply we can say a temporary equal to A of I. You just keep, A of I value into temporary, and you just move this value to here, right? Then A of I equal to A of J. Then the temporary value should put into the A of J. That means A of J equal to temp. Likewise, this swapping is one concept. You know that. Whenever the condition is satisfied, this A of J is less than the A of I, I'll do swapping. Yeah. Then what is the next step? What is the next step? Immediately, my I previously here, right? I value is, okay? Yeah. Immediately, I value is incremented by next value, right? Next here, this is I and this is the J. Next, we are comparing, right? If A of J is less than the A of I, we are swapping like this. Okay, J I value and J plus plus. Immediately you take same thing and A of I and A of J. Immediately consecutive numbers. This is less than, I'm swapping. Like this we are doing. Okay. Then this is the final. Now immediately you should take again from the starting. Okay, same thing, two values swapping like this, right? Yeah. Now let's see. I'm going to run this program. Yes, very good, Bala. Okay, temp equal to A of I equal to A of, instead of A of I equal to A of I plus 1, I'm saying that simply I can say A of ij, J value is A I plus 1. Bala, instead of I and I plus 1, I can say I and J value is always I plus 1. So that it is very easy. Okay, like that we can do. Yeah. So like this we can check this program. Okay. Yeah, fine. So similarly we can do the bubble sort. Yeah. Now let us start with the coding. Okay. Now I'll start with include std.h. I can say void main. I don't want to return. That's up to you. You want int main also. I can say int I comma j comma temp temporary variable. I'm going to take my array A of 5 equal to any numbers you can take. Say for example, I'll take 8, 35, zigzag manner. Here the only thing I'm considering, it should be in random, not in particular sequence order, right? No need of in order, right? So that your program will make the entire array, it will be arranged in ascending order. Now, sometimes this program I'm going to develop in two modes, right? I want to explain with respect to the functions. Like one main program I'll write. From this I'll take an array and I'll pass the array and as well as number of elements as an argument to the sorting function. The sorting function will do sorting. Finally, a printing function will print it. So I'm using 3 functions, okay, so that it is very easy for you. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, total, what are the concepts we have? You should understand. Okay, so any program you can make it as a category into different categories. Okay, and here in the main program, I'm going to read some kind of input, right? I'm giving this input. Okay, and I will pass some functions to the from the main program the input, like I want bubble sort, another function bubble sort. Okay, so this function, what are the data I'm passing to here from the main function to bubble sort? What is the input? I will give you input is one integer array and the number of elements we have in this array. Based on that, I need to do bubble sort. Okay, fine. So in this program, what I should do, I will do some kind of input like reading array, like input array, right? I can say input array. Yeah, what is array size and what are the elements we have? Okay, and I will call the bubble sort. So bubble sort will do calculation of the sorting. It will arrange all the elements in the sorting. And then what I will do, I will also take another function that is for printing purpose. That is for printing. And simply I'll use printing. So for printing, what is required? What is your array and resultant array, and what is the size of the elements that you have to print it? Okay, so that I'll do printing here. That means this makes program easy to understand. Okay, and also in this bubble sort, again there is a requirement of swapping, right? Here also there is a need of swapping sometimes if you want to make it more functions. So again you can call another function swapping, but now in this example I won't, and maybe I'll take another example with swapping. That means what? Wherever it is required, those statements I will write in the function, so that you can understand when the program logic is heavy. Okay, when the program logic having number of lines, then what I will do, I will just split those lines of the code as a function, so that you can understand individually. Yes, this is the code for swapping, this is the code for printing, this is the code for bubble sort. Within that I'm using swapping. Okay, this is actual main program where we are giving the inputs and where I am calling the bubble sort. After that, followed by I'm going to call printing statement, so that my result will be printed like that. So I'm giving you the flow, so don't get any confused. Okay, so like this is the my flow of the program. Okay, fine. Now I'm just reading the input. This is also, you can make it complicated, like you can read the size of array and the number of elements, read that many number of elements to make it dynamic, right? This part also you can extend, but the program itself is lengthy. That's why I don't want to make this program lengthy, right? That's why I given direct initialization. Otherwise, what you can do, you remove this, you read n number size of the array, and that many number of elements you read and put it to the array A. That is also you can substitute. Okay, and now I need to pass some number of elements to the function bubble sort. So how can you find out the number of elements? See, I already told you in the previous session. Okay, you can find out size of A. What is the size of A? 5 elements, that means 20. Okay, 5 into 4, 20 by size of A of I, A of 0. Then first element, any integer, just I want integer value, right? What is the element of that? So 20 by 4, totally 5. That means this many number of elements are there. So the n value you can calculate easily based on the whatever the size you have mentioned here. Okay, you can give like this. Otherwise, if you read size and you read that many number of elements, then directly your size will be there in the variable n. So finally, this is the way I found the number of elements in the array A. Now, very simple here till that. Now I want to print simply the elements directly whatever I given. So I can say before sorting array elements are, okay, I'll just print what are all the elements we have, before printing. So as I told you, for printing purpose, I won't directly use for I equal 0, I less than n, I plus plus. I won't do that. Simply I can say one function, printer is my function to print whatever array I'm giving and number of elements. Okay, this I'll write. Print a of n. Now you tell me, so this with this you can understand how can we do printing of an array by passing number of elements. How can you print? As you know, simply for I equal 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Once if you know the a and the number of elements, okay. But I'm making it as a function, separate function. Yeah, can we do how to print it? Simply whatever the array you have given that and also number of elements you pass as an argument. I'm just printing that elements. Nothing is there. Okay. So you always make program divide into the subtasks by using functions, so that it is very useful while doing some kind of complex programs. So what I will do, I'll write void print int a array, that is the input. What are the arguments we're giving? Array a, right? Your input. And also I no need to define the size also. And Indian, these are the actual argument. This is formal. Both actual and formal may be the same or may not be the same. Okay, that we have studied. And here what I'm going to do, I'll declare a variable I can say for I equal to 0, and you know the logic, I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Simply I want to printf %d AFI. That's it. It's the same program code. A simple printing the array elements. That's it. Nothing is there. You know this printing of array elements, right? But I just use, why I'm using like this, I want to print 10 times. So 10 times instead of doing the same code, simply I can say print. So if I use this print and 10 times, simply this function will be called and this is executed. That's the reason I'm using print. So I may use printing before sorting array, after sorting array, like that, right? So now I just got the output like this, right? Till now, just simply printed before sorting the array elements. Now what we do now, we should call a function called bubble sort, right? That is actual code. So if I say like bubble sort, if I say bubble sort, is your program will run like bubble sort? No, right? You should do by your own, like okay, your code. Yeah, yes, Muthu Reddy. Yeah, I'll tell you slowly only. But the only thing is, these are all with the basics knowledge of, okay, with basics, whatever you practice with arrays, whatever you practice with functions, okay, you should have full of knowledge with arrays, functions, and nested functions and the nested arrays and all, okay. Yeah, then only you can able to follow. Now, yes, anyhow, I'll move slowly, no issue. Now tell me, there is a function, my user defined function, that is bubble sort. Instead of bubble sort, can I give you Ravi? Yeah, I can give Ravi sort. That means you are giving your name, but the logic I should do based on the bubble sort logic. Okay, that's why I'm going to use bubble sort is my function, where what is the input I should give? Whatever you are given in array, you should give as an input, comma, the number of elements you calculated that you give as an input. Now, when you develop this function, coding function definition, what is the output of this function? Your array is arranged in the some ascending order. Assume like that, okay? So like that, you should write the program. Yes. Then my control will move to the particular function where you have use the define function like void bubble sort, okay, and int array comma int n, and I have written something code. Assume that you have written something bubble sort, okay. Now over, that means your array is having something like data is arranged in the sorting order, in the ascending order. After that, what you should do, you should print it, right? So that's why again I want to print after sorting technique, right? After sorting array elements are, that means after applying sorting technique, what is your array? Your array should be in the ascending order, right? Like this becomes 8, 12, 27, 32, 35, like that. So I want to print it. So again, instead of writing the same code, what I'm doing, simply I will apply this function, right? Print a comma n. It will be printed. Print a comma n. An array will be printed. So simply by observing this main program, you can say in single term, you have given the array input, calculated number of the elements, that is 5, and you are passing entire array comma 5. You are printing that elements before sorting. After applying the sorting technique, I am giving the input an array and a number of elements. After sorting, then I am printing my resultant array. Do you understand simply in this main program or not? So it is a particular task. What we are going to do entire the program, you understand, right? Simply I give an array as an input. I just printed, apply the sorting technique, then I printed. Now, what you did in the printing, you know this one. This is the coding for printing. Now, this is the actual heart of the program, right? How we are going to apply the sorting technique. What is the input you are giving? So now I have given input array and number. This is the code. Now we are going to see that is the actual code. Okay, this is the bubble sort we are doing. Now here you should understand the logic clearly. Okay, so as I told you, we need two arrays for I value and j value. So that's why I will take I comma j and as well as temporary variable for swapping purpose. And I'm going to take as two loops, like two values are comparing, right? For I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Okay. For every I value 0, it will compare with j value also. Then immediately j equal to I plus 1. As I told you, I value 0, then what is j? Immediately next element, right? J plus 1. Then j less than n. J plus plus. Okay, fine. So now we know I value 0, next j value is 1. Okay, fine. And next I will do if a of j is less than a of I, as we discussed. If a of j is less than a of I, okay, what I shall do? What shall I do? Immediately I need to swap, right? The second number. This is the first number, this second number, right? If the second number is less than, then immediately I can do swapping, right? As we discussed just now. Yeah. Yes. Now I'll do swapping. So what is the swapping? If you know a of I and a of j, two numbers, how do we swap? Temp equal to a of I. Is somebody written in the charting also? That's correct. Instead of I and I plus 1, what I said? I plus 1 nothing but j, right? That's why I said a of I equal to a of j. A of I equal to A of J. And the temporary value you should put into A of J. Simply A of J equal to temp. Okay, I hope you understand this logic, right? We did it many times. Instead of this, what I can do, here also I can swap A of I comma A of J. Simply I can call swap of A of I comma A of J. I'll write one more function swap. I'll write like how I written for bubble sort and print. I'll write another function for swap. So if I ask swap, it will do swapping. That's it. Okay, many times no need to write. That's it. Likewise, you can make it as the many functions. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Okay, now what will happen every time? This will move to the next element and it will check which is less than or not. It will swap like this continuously. This will move to ending. After that I becomes 1, then J value with all it will check and it will swap like this. Okay, this is the logic for the bubble sort. Now let us save this program. I can call it as bubble.c. Is that all the variables declared, everything is fine? The printing is, everything is okay. I for loop and it is printed, everything. You should check it once or twice. All the variables and everything is declared or not. Is everything is closed or not? All the braces are closed properly. Okay. In the main program, have you written everything? Okay. Yes, fine. Let us check it. So, yeah, let me run this program. Yeah, see here, I forget to semicolon. Yes, program is executed successfully. With no space, it is printing. That's why we got before sorting A 8, 35, 32, 12, and 27. After that, 8, 12, something. So better I'll give some space. In the printing, I'll give you some space. I can say percentage 5D. And also, after printing, before sorting array elements are the values are printing. After that, yeah, after printing the elements, then let it be in the new line so that after that elements, yeah, that's good. Now let us run this program. See here, before sorting the elements are 8, 35, 32, 12, 27. Now 8, 12, 27, 32, 35. Otherwise, you want, you don't give the backslash in here. For every element, it is displaying now. Not a big issue. Yeah, I'll save and I'll run this program one more time. Yeah. Before sorting the elements are 8, 35, 32, 12, 27. And after sorting 8, 12, 27, 32, 35. Is these elements are arranged in this ascending order or not? Yes. So this is the way we can run this program. Fine. So this is the bubble sort. So let us move to the next algorithm, that is selection sort. Okay, selection sort. Yeah. You try to understand here. Try to understand the selection sort. Nitin is asking, explain swapping once. Nitin, the swapping program we have done earlier, but for you, I'm going to explain one more time. Say, for example, any values in the array, whatever you have, array is having like something, 5 equal to something like 2, 3, 6, 12, 34, whatever it may be. Assume that there are two numbers, right? This is A of I and this is A of J. Or you can say A and B. This is A and B. I told you earlier also A and B. Okay. So if it is A of I and A of J, how you are going to swap? Simply it is like A and B only. A of I and J nothing but it is like A and B only, right? Yeah. How you are going to do that? Okay. Yeah. Instead of that, I'll take in the paint. Yeah. If you have two numbers, like number 2 and 12, anything, 14, 15, something you have taken, fine, 14, 15, something. Assume that this is A of I. A of I. Whenever I value is 0, this is A of J. This is A of J. After that, I value is varying and J value is moving, right? It is moving. Wherever you move, you are having two values. What is that? A of I element and A of J element. So if you have two elements, how you are going to swap? This is A of I and A of J, right? I'm taking a third party variable like temp. I'm taking temp. Okay, what are the variables I'm taking? A of I. Without knowing swapping, no sorting technique, you will understand. No sorting, no searching. That's why, again, even though it is easy, I'm taking one more time. Okay, A of J, right? Temporary is empty, right? Now what I want to do, this value 2, I just keep into temp. This value 2, I'll just put into temp. Now A of I is free now. So now what is the value of temp? 2. What is the statement for this? Assigning A of I equal to, assigning A of I value into temp. How you are going to do? Temp equal to A of I, right? That means A of I value assigned into A of I value assigned into temp. Are you clear? This is the first statement. This is the first statement, right? Yeah. After that, A of I is free, empty, right? Now, A of J place into here. A of J place into A of I. Now, what is A of I? You have A of I is having 12. Okay. Now you don't have 12 here. That means what is the statement? A of J value you are storing into A of I. So you should write like this actually. A of J value you are assigning to A of I. A of J value you are assigning to A of I. I speak like this only, right? Why? Because assignment will be there from right to left, right? Yeah, then semicolon. That you leave it about the semicolon. Yeah. Now, is that fine? A of J value storing into A of I. Now, what is the temp? So now this 12 is coming here. Now, where is the 2? 2 is there in the temp, right? That's why this temp value I'll put here. This temp value I'll put into A of J. So A of J is having 2. Now, no value in the temp, right? So how can I put temp into A of J? this one, temp value assigned into A of j. Finally, what is there in the A of I and j? You have, finally, you have 12 and 2. Is that values are swapped or not? Fine. That's it. After that, I becomes, I is moved to here and j is moved to here based on the condition. If this is less than or that is less than, then swap, right? Once you apply the swap, this total logic will come into the picture. Yeah. Are you clear who asked about this swapping? Nitin, you please respond immediately. For you only I explain. Yeah, fine. Yeah. Yeah. Now, let us move to the next algorithm, next sorting technique. That is selection sort. See how it is going to be happen. That is very important. Understanding the logic is more important. Okay, fine. So now let's move. Yeah, first I just identified. First identify the least one. See what is happening. I just move like this. Okay, with till now you observe the colors. Till now my elements are like this. That means what? What I'm doing? I'm just moving. I'm just identifying each and every element to find the minimum element. So now I change this color on which number? Whatever I feel it is the least element. Whatever I feel that is the least element, I change the color as a blue. Now, out of all, is that -5 is the least element? Yes, -5 is the least element. So now, out of this entire array, okay, here, if you want, you can note down one single statement. Find the minimum element and swap with first element of the unsorted array. I'm repeating, find the minimum element and swap with the first element. What is the first element? First element of the unsorted. So far it is everything is unsorted array. Okay, fine. I will take the first element. So now these two I am doing comparisons. These two I am doing comparisons. Okay, fine. If it is the least, okay. Otherwise, I will do swapping. I will do swapping. So now here the least one is the starting element. I just applied like this. If you have I and j, if you feel like this, if you have I is greater than the of j, then I will swap. Okay, so least element should be the first. Fine. The first step is completed. Now what you should understand here, I will do two partitions. Assume that once if you got green color, nothing but that is sorted order. That means one element is sorted. That is over. That is my resultant array. The rest of the elements I can call it as a unsorted elements. The rest of the elements I will consider as a. The rest of the elements I will consider as a unsorted elements. I can say sorted array, unsorted array. Okay. Yeah. So now, out of this, now I will start my process with the rest of the elements. So how do you say the rest of the elements? Assume that previously my started with, A of 0 to ending. Now we have 1 to ending. I'll consider A of 0 to n minus 1. Now A of 1 to n minus 1. Next A of 2, like that. Okay. Like that I will take the remaining is the unsorted array. Yeah. So now, yeah, I'll see 1, 13, 5, 8, -2. Finally, I should know which is the least element. Tell me in the chart window, -2 is the least element. Then I'll consider as a blue color. Now, with this least element, I want to swap with which element? Yes, you don't think that by fortunately or unfortunately, this becomes smallest, next smallest. Don't think like that. The smallest element with the unsorted first element, whatever it may be in the first element. With this, I'll compare. With this, I'll compare. So if this is the less than, then I will swap, right? So the first element is the greater element, then obviously I will swap. So I will do swapping. Now this becomes ordered. So now you tell me what is ordered elements? 2 are the ordered elements. The rest of the 4 are unsorted order. Okay, so this program, these rest of the elements only I need to consider. So how can I do? Now out of the 4, that means F0, F1, this is F2. So I'll consider my array starting with F2. With this F2, I will see all the rest of the elements, which is the minimum element. Now out of that, whatever I find, it is least element, the least element with the first element, right? So this I selected, and with the first element, now you see. Okay, so that means finding the least element of the unsorted array and the first element of the unsorted array. This is the first element of the unsorted array. I'll check if this Fi is greater than the Fj. I need to swap. I need to swap. Now my anyhow my array is already moved to this next element, so that from this element onwards I will treat as a unsorted array elements. Out of these 5, 8, 13. Again, now this is the complicated. Now you try to understand. Now keep in your mind, what is the 2 elements we have to identify? Least element and the first element. Now you please tell me in the chart window, what is the least element, what is the first element? Quickly in the chart window, what out of these 3, 5, 8, 13, this is unsorted array, what is the least element and what is the first element of the unsorted array? Both are same, right? Both are 5 only. Okay, both are 5 only. That's why I have identified 5 as the least element, and immediately that 5 is considered as the starting of the array. So same element, how can I swap? Simply that is the same position. That's why it becomes, the second color is the pink color, then immediately it becomes green. Why? Because that itself, see, blue color is the first element to be identified, this color is the second element to be identified. Both should be swapped, but both are same element. That's why I got the final ordered element. Are you clear about this particular point? Yes, very good, Lahari. Very good, Lahari. 5 is both least and first. Okay, whenever that kind of thing is happened, obviously that is the same position. Now tell me, what are the unsorted elements? 8 and 13. What is the least and what is the first element? Similarly, tell me in the chart window, what is the least? So I'm talking about always 2 elements, the least element of the unsorted and within that first element. Obviously it becomes 8. So I search with 8 and 13. I just moved the rest of the elements with the yellow color. After that, I found it is the minimum is the, with blue color indication, 8 is the minimum color, and another color indicates starting element, that becomes 8. So that's why it is arranged in the same position. Same thing happened for the 13. That is the minimum, that is the least first element in that array. It becomes same order. So this is the way we can identify the elements and order and unsorted order and swap, identify the least element and swap it. Okay, now all the elements are in ascending order. Okay. Yes. So this is the way we can run the selection sort. Now, let us move to this program. Let us move to this program. Now here in this program, instead of typing this program, I already written and I'll try to explain the logic. So understanding the logic is more important here. So I will try to explain with another mode of explanation so that you people will understand. I'll take notepad. See, first you should understand the logic. After that, you should understand the logic, program logic. File, new, don't save file. Yeah, I'll keep like this. Now try to understand clearly. Yeah, our program will start from the main program, right? Yes. What is my input array? I just given array 64, 25, 12, 22, 11. Okay, fine. Now, what is the n value? Size of array. What is the size of array? That means total number of elements into 4, right? That is 5 elements into 4, 20. Size of the array is 20 by size of the first element, array of 0. Size of 64 means what? It is integer, right? It is 4. So 20 by 4, 5. Then you will get the number of elements. So what is n value? 5. That means for every time I am passing an array and the value n. Okay, the value n. Now that is clear. Now next part is I am passing entire n array and the value n as a argument to the selection sort. Now I am going to print this selection sort. Yeah, in this selection sort, what I am doing? Okay, fine. You try to understand. You try to understand. Okay, array and n. Now, one by one move boundary of unsorted subarray. Okay, so this is every elements we should search. This is for what? Like yellow color. Like yellow color. So yellow color is moving to all the elements or not? Like I value is 0 and I less than n minus 1, I plus plus. For every unsorted array, am I moving with yellow color or not? Okay, yellow color is moving first element, second, third, fourth, fifth, like this. Okay, you should move with all the elements. Then only I can identify what is the minimum element, right? Yeah. So simply I need to search with all the elements. And then I just identified, find the minimum element in unsorted array. Okay. I need to find least element. How do I find the least element? I need to compare each and every element, right? I need to compare each and every element with the first element. So I treat first element is the minimum index. I value is the 0. That means what is the minimum I'm considering? 0. So I will explain with our program logic. Okay. I'll explain with the program logic. Then only the logic will understand. Yeah. Now see, with this minus 2, 113 something. Okay. Assume that I just moved all. I just moved all the elements. How I'm moving? I'm just comparing. Okay. I'm just comparing minus 2 with 1, 2, 13, 5, 8, minus 5, and so on. Finally, I'll decide which one is the less number. How do I find? Okay, how do I find? I will identify first element is the -12. Okay. So -12 I'll consider as a minimum index. Try to understand, my dear students. So first element is I'm considering as a minimum index. After that, I'll compare with the next element, right? I'll compare with this next element. First, I'll tell you the logic, right? Next, I'll compare with these two. Then I'll identify out of these two which is the least. This is what I'm doing. J equal to I plus 1. So this is the next element is the J. I'm comparing array of J, that means this value. Is this less than the first element? No, right? This is not less than the -2. 1 is not less than -2. Okay. Then if it is less than, I should treat this as the least minimum index. If it is less than, then I can say J is the minimum index. Now J is not minimum index. Okay. Now J is not a minimum index. And then I'll go with J value. Next, incremented by, here it is 0, 1, right? This becomes, now it is 2. Now it is 13. Now is this -2 and 13 I'm comparing. Okay. -2 and 13. This is the J, right? Okay. So now these two I'm comparing. This is the minimum index. This is the J. So is this less than? No, right? Not less than. That's why I'll keep minimum index is the J on. I won't do this. So finally, what is the minimum index? Only I. Whenever this is less than, I'm moving like this. Yeah, now you can understand here. What is the J value? It becomes here. So array of J, -15. -15. -15 is less than the -2. What is the minimum index? -2, right? Array of minimum index. Okay. -2. Yes, -5 is less than -2. Then this becomes minimum index. J value becomes minimum index. Do you understand? Now J value becomes minimum index. This is the minimum index. And then with this minimum index value, you need to swap with array of I. What is your I? 0. So now you treat this as a minimum index. Then starting element array of I. These two swap. Okay. That is what we are doing. These two you want to swap. Okay. Yeah. So while I'm swapping, swap of array of minimum index and array of 0. Okay. These two I'm swapping. Over. Yeah. Once you know swapping, right? Once I pass these two elements, okay, then automatically these two elements will be swapped in this array. -5 here and -2 here. Okay. The swapping program you know already. Just now I explained with previously without pointer. Now if you pass an address of the array, then you should take the pointers. Same concept, x and y pointers. And x value in temp and x equal to y and temp value. Same thing, okay, with pointers. That's it. Swapping is over. Now what should I do? I will move one by one, right? I becomes 1. So that means what? This is the 1. So this is the unsorted array. See, from here afterwards, this is the unsorted array. Okay, when I can say unsorted array? Whenever I becomes 1, so next value onwards. This is the I pointer. Whenever I pointer is started, this is the unsorted array. Same procedure will be repeated. How? I will treat this one as the, I'm repeating one more time. Yeah, Muthireddy, I'm repeating one more time. You can use or without use, my dear Mohan. Okay, if you want with ampersand or without ampersand. Earlier without ampersand I said, now with ampersand I said, with pointers. So that you can compare both operations. You can try with both without pointers and with pointers, right? Even without using, but if you are not giving ampersand, you no need to put pointer. Simply like previous example you can do. Okay, I'm covering both ways. Now, so anyhow, for this iteration, I will explain one more time. This process is called one iteration completed. Till now, one iteration completed. Now I will tell you one more iteration, try to understand. Okay? That you practice with this value. See, my dear student, always you should practice with, okay, how you are going to practice, you know, then only you will get good subject. First, how you are going to practice, you take notebook and you take variables. What are the variables we have? Like I, this is the way tracing I, J, okay, and what is the minimum index, like min index. These are the variables I am taking. What is the min index, IDX, min index, okay. Now, what is that I value? What is I value? 0. What is I value? 0. Then is the I is less than n minus 1. What is the n? N value 5. I am passing the number of elements 5, right? Number of elements are 5 are there in the array. Fine. Yes, it is true. Now, what is the minimum index? Now 0. That means first value I am considering as the minimum index. First element of the array I am considering as a minimum index. Array minimum index is 0. Now what is the j? J equal to I plus 1. What is j value? 1. 0 plus 1, 1. Is this true? 1 is less than 5? Yes. Now array of j. What is array of j? What is array of j? A of j. What is array of j? A of 1. Okay. What is the element in the A of 1? You see here. What is A of 1? 1, right? What is A of 1? 1. So this value is 1. A of j value is 1. Then what is A of min index? A of min index means 0. Okay. A of 0. So what is A of 0? You see, A of 0 is minus 2. Okay. A of 0 is the minus 2. Like this, you should compare. Okay, is A of j, that means is A of j is less than A of min index. Okay, that means 1 is less than the minus 2, false. Is 1 is less than minus 2, false, right? So I will not execute this statement. Whenever it is true, then only I will execute. Yeah, that means I am not considering min index value j with, I won't substitute min index with j. Okay, I won't substitute. Then what is the min index? By default, it is 0 only, na? Till now, I decided my minimum value is the 0 indexed element. Now, increase j value. Until this statement is executed, until j loop is completed, right? Okay, with j value and another value, all the rest of the elements. Finally, only I will move to my I value. Now, what is the j? Becomes 1. Already, what is j value? 1, right? Now j becomes 2. Now j becomes 2. What is A of 2? Okay, what is A of 2? You see here. A of 2 is 13. A of 2 is 13. And what is A of min of index? Min index 0 only. A of 0 is minus 2 only. So 13 less than, sorry, minus 2. Is the condition true? False, right? That's why I won't do this. Finally, you continue like this. You continue like this. In somewhere here, I'm talking about 13, 5, 8, minus 5. We take minus 5. Okay, finally, minus 5. Then you can understand. Okay, minus 5 is less than minus 2. True, right? So till that, till this time, minimum index value is the A of 0, right? Yes. Now, okay. What is this A of j? J value 2. Here 2, 3, 4, 5. J value is 5. Okay. Whenever j value is 5, this condition becomes true. Then what I'm going to do, see, j value I'm storing into min index. Now what is the value of min index? It is not 0. Now 5 is the min index value. 5 is the minimum index. That means what? Whatever the fifth position you have, that becomes a minimum value. Okay. So that's why I changed this color. After comparing all, finally I changed this color as with blue color. Now this is decided as a minimum. Have you decided or not? After iterating all, yes. This is the process. Okay. Yeah. After you decided, then this J value incremented, condition false, you are coming out. After looping over, you are coming out. Now, what is your opinion? Tell me. What is array of min index? What is array of 5? That is -5. Are you clear? Array of min index is, array of 5 is the -5. -5, comma, -5, comma, array of I. What is I? I, you have not changed anything. I, you have not changed anything. I value is 0 only, right? Yes. Now, A of 5 with A of 0, you are swapping. A of 5 and A of 0, these two you are swapping. Okay. So, these two you are swapping. That is the next slide. I just identified and I did swapped. Class. Are you clear? So, this is first iteration. So, one loop is completed, right? Then now I becomes 1. Whenever I becomes 1, what is your slide? Yeah. Again, I started from here. I becomes 1, 0, 1, 2, right? Now, the same process, I value 1. Again, it will move to the 13, 5, 8. It will check. It decided that it is -2 is the minimum. And then with the first element, I need to swap. Second iteration. Same thing is happened. So totally, what is the conclusion here? Finally, this will move all the elements. This program will identify the minimum. Then you swap with minimum and first element. That means first of the unsorted element. That means next element. Okay. You swap. Then again, next element. Again, find the minimum. Swap with the minimum and that whatever I value is there, right? First element of the array. Are you clear? Swapping. So you should understand very clearly. Find the minimum, swap with the first element of the unsorted with the minimum element, swap until all the elements. Are you clear? Fine. Yeah, like this you should trace program. This is called tracing of the program. Then only you can understand very clearly all the programs. Okay. So explaining this much is not good. You should practice like this. Okay. So anyhow, for 1 or 2 programs, I will explain like this. Rest of the programs, you should understand the logic whenever I am explaining. Okay, fine. Let us run this program. Okay. Let us run this program. Okay. Fine. See, I didn't print with before sorting. Directly, I got printing. So, see, after sorting, 11, 12, 22, 25, 64. Is the elements are displayed in the sorted or not? Yes, elements are displayed in the ascending order. That's it. You can check with any numbers. The data will be displayed in the ascending order. Fine. I hope you understand. I hope you understand this logic like selection sort, how we did it. Okay. Yeah. This is example program on selection sort, right? Fine, clear. Now let us move with another sorting technique. All sorting techniques are very, very important. Let us move with another sorting technique, that is insertion sort. See how it is going to be there. Yeah, insertion sort. Okay, this time you should tell me in the chart window This time you should tell me in the chat window. Yes, obviously, Mohan. Obviously, you should see. Even if you have 1,000 elements, obviously you should see each and every element to find the which is the smallest element and all. That is what this sorting technique is, Mohan. That is what this is not a good sorting technique might be. Okay. That is why this is not good sorting technique. Okay. So if we have another good sorting technique that is called quick sort and merge sort. It will make easy to sort to get the good result with less time. First, you should understand various types of techniques. Later, you can find out with better case, worst case scenario, average case, and based on the time complexity, you can find the best algorithm. Now, you try to understand now this instruction sort, how it is going to be happen. If possible, you try to implement the logic based on the identification. So far, we did different ways. Okay, now you try to understand the same program with just the changing of the logic, and you try to implement the logic. I'll give you the concept now. Now you tell me, I just identified the 12, then 4. What is happening? You have to tell me in the chart window. I'll just move, that's it. Identified these 2. I kept like this. I'm repeating. First we have like this, and these 2, something is happening like swapping, right? Fine, these 2 okay. Now I took next element. I took next element -5. Yeah, I think Niharika, this is also like puzzle. Okay, Niharika and other people, this is also a puzzle. You try to solve this puzzle. Okay, this puzzle you try to solve. You try to explain. I'm expecting something you should write in the chart window. Okay, this is kind of puzzle, you tell me. Don't think simply swapping of A and B. Now you tell me what happened. Can I swap 2 and -2? I'm not doing swapping. You think what happened? When I am doing swapping, what is the concept here happening? Yeah, see, I took something, then I won't do swapping, then I just keep aside, and then wherever it is required, I just kept like this. What might be the logic? See, 3, I took 3. And then see here 3, and I just keep aside. That means the third element is compared with the rest of the elements wherever it is required. Then all the elements are keeping aside. Then that means finding that particular position. If it is greater, all the greater elements are keeping aside. Find that position where I want. In that particular position, I have inserted. That's why this sorting is called insertion sort. Okay, just identify the position where I want to keep that value. This is somehow directly it is inserting the particular position. Then take this next element and keep aside all the elements. Okay, here directly this comparing with all the elements, this position is finding here in the same location. That's why we kept here. You take 2 and it check with these elements, and since it is less, then take the another position, and since it is this 12 is greater, move, and 11 is greater, move, and 4 is greater, move, and the next element 3 is greater, move, and then -2 is less, then I'll put here. Okay, here same thing, like identify these elements where you want to insert. That means while inserting, you should know the position also. Okay, what are the techniques you are applying? Swapping is there, or I'm not doing any swapping. Simply, I'm just keeping into particular position. Yeah, take this value and then identify the position with so and so condition, identifying the position with the rest of the elements, and then simply I'll keep in the particular location. I'm not swapping here, right? Yeah, that's what I'm asking you to understand. Okay, so yeah, elements will be in ascending order. Number one, I'm just keeping here, identifying this element. So I am just neglecting, not keeping aside. I'm just neglecting and identifying the next previous value, checking with the condition. Still, I'm not satisfying with the condition. I'll move to the next element, and condition is not satisfied, and moving wherever I want to keep my condition. Condition is nothing but simply whether this searching element is the greater than the whatever the element which I found. Okay, then immediately I will neglect, and now my array element is less than the given element. Then I can put into the next position like this. This is what I'm happening, right? Yeah. So now all the elements are there in the specific order. So see, now all the elements are in the order. So that's why your insertion sort technique will follow, right? Now all the elements are in the specific ascending order, right? So I'm expecting writing this program, okay? So this is assignment for you. Okay, so this is what insertion sort is going to do. Okay, you can practice this sorting technique, and maybe this program I will give you assignment for you based on the logic. You should understand this. Okay, insertion sort. Insertion sort. Okay, so all these sorting techniques are working with the comparison based. Comparison based. Maybe in the next class we may go for the okay, this you can practice with this program, and next we can go with quick sort and merge sort. After that we can move ahead with the actual linear and non-linear data structures and stacks, queues, linked list and all. Okay, yeah. So anybody is there from the team? Yeah. Okay. So happy learning. Till then, I'm going to stop the session now. And most of the people are expecting some puzzles as well as other links or something. And may I know anybody is there? With this topic, I'm going to stop today. And in the next class, maybe we can run this program, or you should practice this program. You practice this in session start program and try to identify the logic as well as do some kind of iterations. Okay, next we'll move ahead with the another sorting techniques. Yeah, I'm going to stop my sharing of this program.
Hello, students. Today's topic, sir want to end it now. Tomorrow he'll be continuing. Okay.
Bye.